It's coffee break.
Yeah.
So not much in the news this week, unlike last week.
Just a continuation of the shows we've been watching.
Yep.
It's going to be a lot of that for a good couple of weeks.
I will say this, that they want to make a live-action Rugrats movie
Yeah.
with CGI'd babies,
Yeah.
which is even more confusing.
I don't want this.
I feel like it could go Cat in the Hat so hard,
Yes.
so fast.
It could very quickly nosedive into baby genius territory.
Yes. And especially since the Rugrats, the kids are the main plot.
Yeah. Like, the fun is they see the world from a completely different perspective.
Yep.
Like, they'll be having an entire imaginary adventure, and every now and then it'll cut back to reality, and you'll see what they're actually doing. It's not like pirates on the ocean. They're just scooting across the kitchen floor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what babies do.
Yeah.
It lends itself very well to the animated medium. I don't see how anything live action would help or benefit it.
Also, Rugrats is such an old one.
Yeah, they tried bringing back Rugrats, and
Yeah,
it flopped.
They did all 3D animated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No one talked about it.
I don't think anybody wants this.
No. As soon as you told me about it, I was like, you know what they should have done? Wild Thornberries. Because I think they're timeless. Kids
Okay.
love animals.
Yes, it would work better with Wild Thornberries. But no one cares about Wild Thornberries.
I know. They're all so old.
Stop picking the bad franchises.
It's because they don't have any new ones. Every time they try to make a new show, it gets canceled after one season because it wasn't 100 million billion people watching it all at once because they don't advertise it either. Disney, I'm looking at you in particular.
It's weird that if you're gonna keep making shows, and if the more there is, the less likely it'll be number one.
Yeah.
Because they'll have more competition.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start killing off those shows that don't get number one.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to just be left with the number one show almost forever.
Yeah.
That's probably why...
SpongeBob is still getting made.
SpongeBob. I was thinking Days of Our Lives.
Mm.
How that has over 1,000 episodes.
I was thinking about... Because, like, when we were growing up, there were so many cartoons. And, like, they were good. You could hardly call them, like...
Were they?
Well, I have fond memories of them. They were at least creative. Codename Kids Next Door, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Yep.
We were scrolling through Courage the Cowardly Dog yesterday.
Yep.
All Cartoon Network, because Cartoon Network was way better than Nickelodeon.
Yeah. But I think we've already talked about how we were not Nick kids at all.
Nah.
Like, I
Avatar
watched...
was their only good one.
Yeah, and I would only show up for that.
Mm-hmm.
Supposedly I watched SpongeBob when I was younger. I don't know.
It was on all the time.
Yeah,
so.
it's still on, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Disney Channel and Cartoon Network, they just had the better IPs.
But now, I don't know what kids watch.
Coco Melon.
Cocomelon's for little
and Paw
babies.
Patrol.
I see a lot of people talking, especially
Bluey.
now. I see a lot of people talking, especially now, about how kids' media is just, like, regurgitating the stuff we grew up with.
Yeah.
Like, they're talking about bringing back regular show, which was a little after my time.
Mm-hmm.
But and a lot of people are like, they're just reheating our leftovers. And I saw someone else respond to that with, we were just reheating our parents' leftovers. And it was like Batman Beyond. We had our own version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus their 80s version. Like, we've always been taking things from the prior generation, but I don't think this current generation has anything new or its own these days.
Well, they're still kids.
Yeah.
Eventually something will pop up. Like, I remember... What is that Disney Channel one that was kind of like more adultish?
Well, there's so many of them are like that. Owl House? Maybe?
No, there was the two kids and their crazy friend.
That does not.
They're fighting
it
a
down.
triangle guy with one eye.
Oh, Gravity Falls.
Gravity Falls.
Yeah.
That was a new IP.
Yeah,
And it did pretty good.
but it's been over for years.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll reboot it.
Well,
But what I'm saying is eventually another Gravity but not Gravity's Falls. God, I really screwed that up.
I know what you mean to say.
Yeah, a new show like that will pop up.
Mm-hmm.
There is room for that, but it's such a rare thing.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to wait, and somebody will get through. Hotel has been.
Has been Hotel.
Whatever.
Yeah, but that's an adult animation.
Yeah, but the fans aren't adults.
Well, they're not supposed to be younger. It's for teens and up, technically.
Yeah, let's be honest. It markets itself to teenagers.
And which I think is another problem. Even things with like Gravity Falls or Owl House or Steven Universe, it initially seems like it's something like younger kids can enjoy as well.
Mm-hmm.
But there keeps being a trend where it hits a point and then very suddenly it's very mature and adult and dark. And suddenly it's like, oh, well, this is cool because it's not for kids, actually. And it's like, something needs to be for kids, though, still. And yeah, kids can enjoy these darker, more complex storylines, but all of them end up being about, like, doom and war and trauma and PTSD. Can't something just be fun for kids?
Art imitates life.
I guess.
And right now, in our current life, things are not looking good.
No, but kids don't need to acknowledge that all the time.
No. Okay. Well, nobody wants this Rugrats movie. Fortnite creator Epic Games fired over like 300 people to make themselves financially stable.
Which...
Hold on. Disney's backing you with like a couple billion.
Yeah.
And you've made a product that, like that TV show analogy thing we're doing, became number one, and now they think they have to always be number one.
Yeah, and they're...
Fortnite's not popular anymore. People
No.
still play it, but it's not as big as it used to be.
The only time I ever hear about it is like, oh, this new random character is a skin or a mod in it.
Yep.
Like, oh, it's Mr. Incredible's in it now. Oh, Billy the Puppet from the Saw franchise
Yes,
is in it
and
now.
I saw that. They totally just effed up his hair.
Well, yeah,
It looks so femme.
it does. they did it wrong.
Yeah. I don't like that.
It looks like a bad old woman's haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You would think they would make a new game eventually. Well, that's kind of the thing when your game is a dying fad. It was really big, but people moved on to the next big hotness.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is nowadays, I'm not entirely sure.
The big game?
Fall Guys or something, I don't know.
Yeah, nobody's playing Fall Guys.
I keep seeing this thing, and I feel like such an old woman, because I don't understand. It's the parkour challenge, where it's just people in, like, this endless, like, jumping thing, where you need to jump to a block in, like, the sky, and you have the option of picking chicken or beef, and I don't get it. I don't understand kid humor these days. I don't know where this trend came from, but everyone's recreating it in every video game ever.
You know what kids watch? They watch anime.
They do. They watch, like, Skibbity Toilet and shit like that.
What the hell is that? What did you just say to me?
Do you remember, like, Gary's Mod SFM videos? Where it was just random garbage, usually with Team Fortress 2 character models, or Thomas the Tank Engine, or, like, a T-Rex. Like, it's just random stuff happening.
Okay.
That's the the best example I saw someone say Skibbity Toilet is this current generation's version of the annoying orange, where it's just
Oh, wow.
loud and a lot and adults don't get it.
Okay. Well, back to Fortnite Epic Games. How do you hire over 300 people if it didn't work financially for you?
Yeah.
How do you just make that mistake?
I think a more important question, what the heck is 300 people's job at Epic Games? All they do is model characters into Fortnite.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like a 300-person job.
Yeah, maybe they thought it was going to be bigger. They thought maybe they would last longer.
Maybe they did want to make a new game, and then it didn't work out, and all those people were, like, developers on it, or something.
Okay.
But I don't know.
That still sucks. That's a lot of people to just not have jobs anymore.
Yeah. An unfortunate trend, unfortunately.
Yep. I keep seeing rumors for Marvel's going to announce Doctor Strange 3.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot more rumors, and I'm like, this is getting weird.
Okay. We'll find out what was with that eyeball on his forehead.
Yeah, I'm hoping he would play a bigger part in the next Avengers.
I think he's gonna die. Or become like... Doesn't he get like a seat on the throne of infinite time? No, Loki did that.
Yeah.
I guess he's gonna die.
I don't think he's gonna die.
Everyone else did.
Right. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're excited about that.
They set this precedent.
Was there anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, with Doctor Strange 3?
No. Just any other news you knew?
Nope. Nothing I can really think of.
Okay. The last thing I'm going to end with is that an insider, close to the source, Nintendo, knows that the Switch 2 is completely done and they're ready to launch.
Cool. I guess we'll wait and see with bated breath.
Yeah, so there's no trailer, there's no formal announcement, and the holidays are coming really quick. So it sounds like if this is true, they are going to just sit on it until 2025.
They'll release it in like April, like a random.
Yep. It'll be like a Black April.
Oh, it would be so crazy if they released it, because Monster Hunter Wilds comes out in January. That would be so evil of them to release it in January to
And
compete
tear
with
people between them.
Oh, wow.
I was looking at Monster Hunter Wilds just to pre-order it, and you could buy the standard game
Yeah.
for $70, and then you can buy the special edition, which comes with like an art book or whatever, for $90, and for $110 you can get the art book, the game, and 2 DLC skins.
Okay. That doesn't seem very worth it.
And I was like, your DLC skins are not going to cost that much if I just bought them separately.
Yeah. And also,
I don't
they're
need an
not
art
going to
book.
be as cool as whatever armor you can get in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, and then the other armor that you're going to want, they're going to offer as in-game events.
Yep.
So, the same thing with Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero.
Yeah.
They're like, you get the season pass and 6 characters unlock.
Did that one come out yet?
Should be on its way.
I want it.
It does look fun.
I want to fight. I want to fight you.
You'll lose every time.
There's a Twitter page, Twitter user, and it's Nintendo Switch 2 leaks is what they're called, but the leaks is always things like, sources confirm the Nintendo Switch 2 will come out sometime, maybe. Or things like, sources confirm Nintendo Switch 2 will be free if you steal them from the stores.
Nice.
And things like that.
Nice. Well, we'll see what Nintendo does. I'm expecting... What? There should be a Nintendo Direct soon, right?
Who knows?
Because they haven't talked about Pokemon in forever.
Oh my god. That's annoying me, actually.
Yeah, it is kind of annoying.
You know what I'm expecting the Switch 2 to be like? Literally exactly the same as the Switch, but with a second screen.
Nice. The new Nintendo Switch. This one you can't fold.
Don't worry, there's no 3D.
It's-
We learned our lesson.
Wow, okay. Box office trolls.
Box office trolls.
So, we've had an interesting week. Universal dropped Wild Robot, which is number 1.
I've heard I really want to watch it because I really like the actress playing the Wild Robot. I don't remember her name. She
Us.
was, the main character in Us. I think it looks cool and very pretty.
I don't get it. She's saving wildlife from other aliens?
I don't know exactly what's happening. I am uncertain.
Okay.
Admittedly, the trailers don't really tell you much.
Yeah, I know it's about the circle of life.
Yeah, it's like the meeting of technology and nature and the coexistence of it. Very much Flower, that old video game from the developers of Journey. Flower, like that premise, but as a movie, I'm gonna say.
Okay.
Did you ever play Flower?
No, I didn't like Journey.
I really liked Flower, but it gave me horrible headaches. Only very few games have given me headaches. Flower is one of them. Little Big Planet is the other one.
Okay. I can see why Little Big Planet would get a little frustrating.
It was too bright.
Yeah. It was well lit.
I don't know, something about it just gave me headaches.
Okay. Maybe you're just prejudiced towards sax.
I don't I don't think that's how headaches work. I think it was the horrible astigmatism that plagues my eyeballs.
Could be that. Number 2 is Beetlejuice.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
It has not been number 2 for the last 4 weeks, right?
No, it was number 1 last week.
Wow.
But it's been in there for 4 weeks.
Good for them.
Number 3 is Transformers 1.
I've heard the marketing was completely off for this one. Like, it's way more emotional and heartfelt and dramatic than all the trailers made it seem.
Yep.
Because everyone in marketing these days doesn't know what they're doing.
Well, I said this when Transformers 1 came out, that I was reading about what the producer was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things he said is there's a message, a heartfelt message in Transformers 1. And depending on how people react to it, that will be what the future of the franchise is.
Dang.
And so I knew from that, him saying that there is something between Optimus and Megatron where there's that shift. They were best friends.
Yeah.
And now they're battling to kill each other for their planet.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, something dramatic happened.
Something serious does have to happen. Yeah. It's not just goofy quip, one-liner, joke.
A lot of people like Chris Hemsworth's performance.
Yeah, it's so different. I feel like it would take me a while to really get used to it.
They're saying this is a good year for him because he did Furiosa.
Oh, he
where
did?
He's like this Joker-esque character. I know, I said it. And then you got this young... what's his name? Pax Orion, which is Optimus. So he got to play these really different types of characters.
It's nice he's broken out of the Marvel curse and has gotten to do other things.
I would say he's always been able to break free of the Marvel curse. He did the House in the Woods.
He did.
And I think that came out the same year as Avengers.
I think so.
He had...
a lot of them, like Chris Evans, for example, his stuff was mostly before the Avengers. And then once he started doing Captain America, he did the other things less and less.
Yeah, he started to make his way towards more
art house
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I remember he did a movie about this guy, he played the character too, who was like addicted to drugs and he kept using needles. And because of the needles, he ended up getting HIV. And this character was a real person who went out and like told them like, hey, we need to clean these needles. This is why people are really dying. Right? And that's why there's certain facilities that will do this for drug addicts.
Cool.
He overdosed and died.
Well, it's unfortunate. A good step in the right direction.
But he did that in the early days of Cap.
Ah. Yeah. I feel like later on, especially because now they're older, like doing weird art house things isn't always viable.
Yeah, true. Number 4. Deriva Part 1.
There's no distributor.
Nope.
That's definitely got to be like a weird Bollywood film or something.
Yep. Number 5, Speak No Evil.
Okay.
I've seen nothing about this.
No. This is the one that... what's his name? James McAvoy?
Yes.
Yeah. I've heard nothing. I've just seen people be happy that it's out so they don't have to keep seeing the trailers for them.
Oh, nice. Megalopolis, number 6. You want to talk about Megalopolis? You want me to talk about Megalopolis?
First of all, horrible name. Terrible. It is an ugly feeling word in your mouth. It does not sound good when you say it, and it is not memorable or recognizable at all. So immediately we're off to a bad start.
Yeah.
I've heard only negative things about it.
I mean, there's been just a problem after problem after problem with this film. All the way from... I remember years ago when he was like, I have this script done, but nobody's giving me money. because no one trusted him in this script.
Yeah, maybe that was for a reason.
His films they've really gone downhill.
Yeah. What was his last one before this?
I believe it was Twix.
I don't even know what that is.
It's Twixt.
Like the candy bars?
Basically. And it had to do with a house and time can change itself.
He keeps...
It was a weird gothic horror. Less gothic. It was but...
That sounds a lot like what people try to describe. Not necessarily the time travel element, but Megalopolis also being a weird concept exploration thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, weirdly enough, he likes horror.
Yeah.
But he's known for doing The Godfather. Okay.
That could be an interesting thing. Is The Godfather filmed like a horror movie?
There is one scene that will get you every time.
Is it the horse head?
No.
Ah.
Okay, it's not. The horse head's not as cool as you think it is, and also disgusting.
It's the one that gets referenced the most.
Yeah. It's because that actually happened to a gangster.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a horse's head though. It's when Michael is given a gun and told to go to this restaurant with the chief of police and the mayor, who are in on the attacks on his family.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he has to go into the bathroom to get the gun from behind the tank. And there's a train that runs over the top, because they're in New York, over the top of the restaurant or nearby so much that it shakes the restaurant. And it's very loud. And just the tension of knowing that Michael has to kill these guys who are big dudes and they got people in this room all eating, right? And then he's got to get out alive and get out of the country. Mm-hmm. And then just the train itself just adds on to this moment of tension. It's really good.
Cool.
Yeah, but as for the rest of it, no.
And then there's Megalopolis.
Yeah, so Megalopolis, he decided to fund it with his own money, so it's 120.
Yeah, there's no distributor listed here.
Well, there is a distributor. So after he created the film...
Yeah, 120 million.
I'm glad I let you talk about this.
Sorry.
No, I'm saying I'm sorry. Because I just took over. Because I've been tracking this one a little bit. Because like you, I do want to see it. And I have a feeling it is bad. Because we're already hitting a lot of problems. Mm-hmm. So he funds the movie himself, which is never a good idea.
No.
That's one of the first things you're told in film school. Don't use your own money.
Because here's the thing. If everyone's saying no, there's a reason for it. We all like to think we're just smarter and better than, the Hollywood shills and their humdrum lives and they have no creativity. But there is a point where if everyone's telling you no, even someone like A24 is being like, nah, not for us.
Which this film sounds like it could have been up their alley.
Then that probably means there's something just kind of fundamentally wrong with the movie, which you would think would, with how many bad movies come out, you think they would catch these things more. But think of it this way, so many bad movies come out and they're still telling you no.
Yeah, so he makes the movie anyways. Mm-hmm. And he struggled to make it, but he was able to do it. He ended up getting a lot of big actors because they wanted to work with him.
Yeah, Adam Driver.
Adam Driver stars in it.
There's one scene I've seen that they've revealed on Twitter or something. I think you can see it on YouTube as well. And filming, acting, everything about it confuses me because it feels like a very small production, indie team, fresh new actors right out of college or high school kind of performances. And I don't know why.
Maybe that's how he wanted the characters to be?
Maybe. I'll give it this. It sure was fascinating.
So, after he finished the film, he couldn't find a distributor. Mm-hmm. And he took it to Cannes, where it got slammed.
Yeah.
And again, more people saying no. And he's like, I need a distributor. And he found one, which is Lionsgate. Lionsgate sometimes will do these art house films.
Yeah.
Which is weird. That's what they're actually known for, and not Saw.
Yeah.
But they are also attached to Saw, which I think is funny. So Lionsgate is Warner Brothers. Mm-hmm. And now Warner Brothers has just taking another big hit here.
Well, Warner Brothers notorious for making such amazing financial decisions.
Apparently, they can't hire Josh Brolin to be Hal Jordan because he costs too much money.
Woof.
Yeah.
Man, remember when they gave Rooster Teeth a lot of money to make 2 animated Justice League crossovers with the dying show RWBY? Such good financial leaders.
Yeah. Terrible things going on there. Mm-hmm. And then once he found a distributor, these allegations started coming out. About Francis Ford Coppola being a little too handsy with people in this party scene. And that he was touching and kissing women who just didn't want to be around him. And then one of the producers came forward and said, no, what he was doing, he was going around trying to make sure that everyone felt good and comfortable because it's a party scene and he's a really good and caring director. But they kept throwing these allegations out there.
Okay.
And then finally the movie hit. It is now considered the biggest bomb of the year.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It beat out Borderlands. It beat out Madam Web.
Garfield,
yeah.
This year has been fascinating because the big hits, the next big hit beats the one that was before it. Like Inside Out 2 is the best ever. And then next thing you know, Deadpool and Wolverine is beating that one. But also the big bombs are just continually beating each other. Like, yes. Madam Web's the worst. Garfield's the worst. Megalopolis is the worst. Like, they're breaking records in both directions. It's weird.
I still want to see Madam Web, and I do want to see what Borderlands is.
Yeah.
I don't expect these to be good movies, but Megalopolis is also over 3 hours long.
Yeah.
So it's a time suck. Are you willing to spend $30, $60 if you bring a friend to eat stale popcorn? And then just lose your entire afternoon?
Yeah, no.
Cinema.
These long, dumb movies don't work in theater settings.
No.
And we've proven that 100 times over.
Honestly, as long as the Penguin episodes have been, that's fine.
Yeah.
And I could probably do another half hour because I know I can just pause and walk away.
Yeah.
When watching in theater, I just don't have those luxuries.
No, there's so many things with a longer movie, especially like the lack of an intermission. I just need to accept that I have to pee eventually, and I'm gonna miss something. Hopefully, I don't miss something important because I don't know the movie.
Yep. The next up, funny enough, you used to talk about it. Deadpool and Wolverine, which is the highest grossing film of the year, and it will be forever.
Yeah, it should be streaming now.
Yes.
Like, I think it hit streaming
but
yesterday?
It's still number 7 in the box office.
Yeah.
That's pretty sexy.
It's gonna be just like Top Gun Maverick. It just won't go away.
But get denied at the awards.
Ugh. Cowards.
They needed to make a new medal. Sexiest Man of the Year, Glenn Powell.
I was thinking about Glenn Powell being in Batman Returns.
Oh my god. Why are you so bad with these names?
Their names make no sense.
Okay, what's the first Batman movie with Christian Bale?
Dark Knight.
What's the second movie with Christian Bale?
Dark Knight Rises.
What's the third movie with Christian Bale?
Batman Returns.
Okay.
Did I nail it?
No. You got close, though. 1 is Batman Begins.
Oh.
2 is Dark Knight.
Okay.
3 is Dark Knight Rises.
Which one's Returns?
Returns is the animated movie.
Oh.
That all of these movies are based on.
And Glenn Powell's in Rises. he's one of the stockbrokers.
Yes. Number 8, Never Let Go.
Okay.
And number 9, My Old Ass.
Okay.
Nothing there. Number 10, the 20th anniversary of Howl's Moving Castle.
Yeah.
Speaking of Christian Bale.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. Such a good voice actor. Should do more, I'm gonna say. Voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, did great.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was asking you, I was like, I wonder if he was inspired by Willem Dafoe's voice.
I wonder, yeah, because especially after being on set with him for so long for the Lighthouse.
Doing all the monkey pumps with him.
You're going to channel Willem for this one. Let's go.
So the question of last week which of these two new shows that premiered last week were you more excited to see? Mm-hmm. It was The Penguin versus Agatha All Along.
When I voted, Penguin was winning by a landslide.
Yes.
But now, the tables have turned.
So Agatha came in first at 52%, with The Penguin being 48%.
Mm-hmm. So basically neck and neck.
Yeah. I think The Penguin deserves to be less liked.
Yeah.
And it's because of that second episode.
Yeah, so are we ready to start talking about The Penguin?
Yes, we're going to talk about The Penguin right now.
So, the first episode was really good.
We already talked about the first episode last week.
But after seeing the second episode...
But we already talked about the first episode last week.
But seeing the second episode, it has pretty quickly fallen into the traps that I was worried it was going to fall into.
My God, we made no progress.
There's a lot of, what can we do with this story that will stretch out for 6 episodes?
Yeah.
Tread water, apparently.
Yeah. What's his buddy?
Vic? It's Vic, because I keep thinking Victor Stone, and I'm like, I know that's not who that character is.
That'd be a weird turn of events. The reason why he became cyborg was he's doing an odd job for Penguin. That's why he hates villains. Okay.
Yeah, we're just rehashing everything from the first episode.
Yeah, so they're digging a hole for a corpse, and Penguin's like, Vic, get in there. And he's like, why? And he's like, just get in there. And so Vic's in there, and he's like, that's what it would have looked like. I could have killed you. And I was like, dude, stop terrorizing this kid. He's going to turn against you.
Yeah, it's either he's going to die or he's going to turn against you. Obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I was mentioning this to you earlier, before we started recording. I have very quickly gotten irritated with Colin Farrell's Penguin accent. He talks a lot, and his voice is abrasive and not charming to listen to. And it's this thing where, unfortunately, despite how good the prosthetics are and how good Colin Farrell is as an actor, the Penguin feels like a cartoon character walking amongst people. Because he's the only one with all these, like, really over-the-top, like, prosthetics.
Yes.
He has this very over-the-top accent and voice and performance. And everyone else is much more realistic and muted because this is their normal accents, these are their real faces. And so despite the measures they've gone to make him look like a real person, unfortunately, he still just looks like a goof-ass cartoon character. Yeah. It's still the Penguin.
Well, he's supposed to look like that.
Yeah, but
he's supposed to be ugly and slightly deformed.
I feel like it would have, in hindsight, you know, I don't think they would have thought about this while casting the movie originally, but I think it would have been better if they just found an actor who could have already kind of looked the part and could play the part.
Damn. Calling you too pretty.
It is, yeah.
I can see those beautiful eyes underneath the mask. Mm-hmm. And that's what kind of takes me out of it. I could just see that it's a mask.
It was when he was sitting next to Clancy Brown, who was playing Falcone.
No, he's Maroney.
Maroney. Their names are so similar.
But they're not.
Anyway, he's sitting there next to Clancy Brown, and I'm like, that's Clancy Brown. That's Clancy Brown's face. That's what that man looks like. And then a hard cut to Penguin, and I went, that's a person wearing a lot of makeup.
Yeah. Yeah. Him's trying to do this deal in between them to get them to fight, which doesn't seem to be going anywhere.
No.
His weird, uncomfortable restaurant scene with... what's her name? Sophia?
Yeah, the hangman.
Yep. The most interesting thing about that episode was the end. Mm-hmm. Where Sophia was going into this, like, psychotic-induced therapy treatment.
Yeah.
With this red light this guy is shining. Mm-hmm. I was reading an interesting article. I think they're wrong here, but they were like, he's a doctor from Arkham. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And maybe he will become Hugo Strange. Who is a classic Batman villain.
Maybe. Didn't we see his name on his desk?
Yeah, it's not Hugo Strange at all. And I'm like, it could be cool if he was like a student or understudy of Strange.
Yeah.
And he just mentions that.
Yeah.
And then maybe we could see Hugo Strange in Batman Part 3.
Aren't they doing the Arkham series still?
No.
They're not?
No.
I heard they were.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's not connected to this reality.
Yeah, so this is the Batverse.
Oh my god.
Just like the Joker and Joker 2 are not part of the Batverse.
Uh-huh.
They're not part of the DCU. It's just its own thing.
Ugh.
So for the DCU, they will do the Arkham show because they can do more crazier things and showcase weirder characters.
Okay. I do want that to be good. I want that. I think it sounds fun.
So the plans for the Batman and going forward with the Penguin should lead us to the Batman Part 2. In the Batman Part 2, it looks like his villain will be Hush.
Cool.
Which is going to be a fun way to... people are going to freak. Mm-hmm. If you thought the first one was good, the second one's going to be better.
It was watching that behind-the-scenes video of Paul Dano and Robert Pattinson totally geeking out at the concept of the Council of Owls and Hush being introduced. And the other two looked not as interested because they didn't know what it was.
No. So apparently the Court of Owls will also be introduced, which makes sense. This would be Bruce going to become more Bruce Wayne-like, since he was very unfriendly towards that persona in the first one.
Yeah.
And because Batman's a hero at the end. He's a savior.
Yeah.
God, I love that movie.
It's really, really good.
It is. And he'll also run into Clayface. And Clayface will be the next spin-off show.
Okay. So
and then
that'll
there'll be the Batman Part 3 and it all ends there.
They probably... So a lot of Penguin for these first 2 episodes has been him smooth-talking people and weaseling his way out of situations.
Yes.
The way they portray it, though, he is not good at smooth talking people, and his weaseling way out of situations feel very big and obvious. Like you should be, wow, the guy who made an altercation, maybe he's the first person you should look at when trying to find a random murder weapon knife on somebody. I don't know.
Yeah. I'll keep watching it.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. It's well shot.
It is. Some shots are better than others.
Maybe it's just the early episode, problems.
I just want to know, is this going to pop off? Are we going to actually get to have, a multi-gang war?
I hope so. Something I really hope is the other characters to develop. It's a lot of Oz monologuing at people.
Yeah.
Here's the scene where he monologues at Vic, and now here's this next scene where he monologues at his girls, and now here's the next one where he monologues at Sophia, and it's there are so many other characters. Get them to talk too. Make it a report, a conversation, not just him babbling.
So Sophia, a lot of people are digging her. And I'm going to be honest. Every time I see her, I just see the mother from How I Met Your Mother.
I never got that far, so I don't recognize her for it.
The reason why I always think of, when I see her and I think of that, is because I spent all these years with these characters.
Yeah.
And Ted always telling us that there is another character who joins the gang. And I'm like, who's this character? Because we've now spent 7 years with these kids. And now you're telling me there's going to be a new character?
Just some random...
Yeah, and then, that last episode
dies in 2 episodes.
Yeah, it just killed me.
Yeah. Just like it killed her.
Yeah. She's also in Wolf of Wall Street. She was Leo's first wife before he left her for Margot Robbie.
Oh. What else did we watch this week?
So we watched Joker, of course.
Yeah. You have that review. Everyone should go watch it.
If you haven't, check it out. If you watched the early drop of it, my accidental... It wasn't... I made some hiccups.
You did an editing goof.
One frame wasn't fixed, and I forgot to put the stars in.
Yeah.
And then, so it's all the same stuff. I just fixed those 2 spots.
It happens. Happens to the best of us.
There are 2 things that I feel like were completely missing from my script, and I just totally forgot. I intended to write about the Academy Awards, and that Joaquin won for Best Actor. And that now you have Best Supporting Actor, Heath Ledger, and Joaquin Phoenix as Best Actor for the Joker character.
Yeah.
Which I think really solidified the importance of that character in this time.
Yeah. Barry... Oh, no. I don't remember his last name.
Keegle? Yeah, the Irish kid.
Big shoes to fill, my dude.
I already like his Joker. For what little I've seen of him,
I already like him. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
He's a really good actor.
I hope to see him pop off a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
The Joker, the other thing I was missing was I never talked about his laughter and how much it pissed me off.
It does get very grating as the movie goes on.
It does. It starts to wear you out.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was recording footage of his daydream on The Murray Show, and he's laughing in sequence with everyone, I forgot to talk about that and how he doesn't actually laugh with everyone. He struggles at that.
Yeah.
There's that stand-up scene.
I feel like that's a topic that could be its whole own video. Like talking about the foghorn in Lighthouse. To bring it back to Lighthouse randomly. like once you start thinking about it. Or like Patrick's internal dialogue during American Psycho.
Yeah.
Like paying attention to when it happens and when it stops happening is part of the interesting thing about going back to rewatch the film. The problem is, Joker's not fun. It's not a fun film to watch.
Yeah.
It's a lot of misery. And I get it. That's the point.
So, his daydream with the girl next door, Domino,
Yeah.
that is the actress. The reason why I only show her in one shot and I don't talk about her much, she's only in 2 shots with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then that third one where he's in her apartment.
Yeah. It's, yeah.
And I was just like, that's such a dumb subplot that, like, once you already know the twist, you don't really care because you know he's daydreaming.
Mm-hmm. And it's really obvious once you notice it.
Yes.
Like, it's especially obvious when they're in the hospital and he's, like, with his mom and she's suddenly sitting next to him.
Yeah.
And then he looks up and he gets distracted with the Murray Show and suddenly she's not there anymore. Like, completely, obviously not there.
Those are 2 different scenes.
I thought it was the same scene.
No, she's not in that scene with him.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's when he sees that Murray played the footage of him.
Uh-huh. I thought that she was sitting next to him initially.
Nope.
And then he just got distracted.
No.
Yeah, it really does go nowhere.
Some parts of that film are just pointless.
Yeah.
Some parts I felt like were reused. Like Joker, Arthur, at the beginning, the kids beat him up.
Mm-hmm.
They knock him out, and they start just stomping on him, right?
Yeah.
The yuppies on the train.
Yeah, huh.
The dude just right hooked him, knocked him out, and then they start just stomping on him.
The people who are... Yeah.
Apparently, you can clock this guy and start beating the crap out of him before he gets kills you.
I was thinking about him just randomly, periodically dancing throughout the movie. And
Yes.
I was like, did they only have these scenes of him randomly dancing? So then when he dances down the stairs, it doesn't feel like this is coming from out of nowhere?
But it still feels out of nowhere because it's not the same dance.
It also is weird, because everything despite taking place in, the 70s or 80s?
80s.
Despite taking place in that era, all the songs we hear are primarily, older 50s, kind of 60s.
So that's the director, Todd Phillips, having his influence over what he thinks Gotham should be.
But then once he does his stair scene, suddenly we're getting 80s hits.
That's a 70s song.
Well, the more recent hits, not the old ones that Arthur has been exclusively been listening to throughout.
Yes.
And we get that one song at the end when he's in the cop car, which I think is the only 80s song in the whole thing. I don't remember the name of the song. I was gonna look it up too, and I didn't remember.
Okay. Yeah, music is going to be a very important thing with this second one.
Mm-hmm.
But if you guys are going to go see it, just know, not a lot of people walk out happy.
Yeah, I really want to see it. I'm very curious. I don't know if it's gonna be good.
Yeah, I don't know either. Rings of Power.
Yeah.
Let's go, Anatar. Elrond, your buddy left you hanging on the... Well, it's not the eve of battle. You're literally in the middle of the battle now.
In the middle of battle, yeah.
This is the worst spot to be left hung. No human stuff.
No.
No
It's
magic wizard stuff.
the exact opposite of what I expected it to be.
Which means all of that crap that wasn't in this one,
Yeah.
that we don't care about, is going to be the final episode this Friday.
Mm-hmm. I will say, I think if...
And then we gotta wait 2 years.
The problem with, the problem with Durin not showing up really hinges on his dad's, psychotic episode, and also the looming threat of presumably the Balrog. They really should have hammered home this concept a lot more.
It is the Balrog. We saw it in the trailer.
Yeah.
They spoiled that.
They really should have hammered it. Like, first of all, the mine that he and his wife, Disa, is protecting just looks like a little like a shitty little hallway.
Yep.
And it's one of the lamest sets ever for the whole show. But, like, that whole plot point feels very vapid, and so when it's the big thing that stops him from going to help Elrond, it very much feels like a, oh, that's it kind of moment.
Yeah.
I wish they had bigger emphasis on it.
So one of the writers was talking about this, and he was saying when writing it, it's supposed to have this emotional impact on Elrond that his friend's not here and he feels betrayed, and that there was never a doubt in his mind that
Durin would show up?
Durin wouldn't show up.
Mm-hmm.
He thought he would, and now he's not.
I think that was pretty clear. I think it came across pretty clearly.
Okay. I mean, I was like, okay.
I mean, it could have been better, for sure.
Also, King Elf just showing up on
Yeah.
his horse. I was just like, oh, okay, so you can just ride as fast as you want.
He definitely had "I'm gonna die soon" face.
Yes, yes.
Celebrimbor. Give that man an award. Give him all the awards. It hurts so bad. I didn't expect Celebrimbor's actual abusive relationship to be like the most emotional thing. And I realized that. I was like, the ring with Lord of the Rings is often attributed to like an allegory for addiction.
Yep.
And I was like, Rings of Power and Anatar is an allegory for abusive relationships. And poor Celebrimbor is with his thumb.
Yep.
Oh, man. I even said, don't saw yourself. Don't saw trap yourself.
Yep. I love that he gave his hammer to Anatar because it was missing a gem.
Mm-hmm.
And then Anatar's like, what are you talking about? It's right there.
God.
Just all the magic he's using.
It was when he's like, the mouse scurried across the floor and the candles aren't melting. And Anatar's like, you're worrying about these stupid little trivialities? These aren't things to be worrying about. And it's like, no, they are. Stop manipulating him. No. It's sad.
So, Hell's Kitchen started up.
Uh-huh.
And you've been making me watch a lot of RuPaul.
Mm-hmm.
These things have something in common. They are televised contests.
Yes. A competition structure where someone gets eliminated each episode.
Where we're at in RuPaul, it's what, 2013, 2014?
Yeah. Season 6, I think we've made it to. I skipped the first 2 seasons, so we're 3 seasons deep, technically.
And now with Hell's Kitchen, we're on like season 26, right?
Yeah.
There is still a major difference in quality.
Mm-hmm.
And that RuPaul's Drag Race is way more entertaining as a competitive show.
Uh-huh. 100%.
You can get behind all the drama.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it is actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Some of it will get you, and you're like, oh, this is meaningful to this person.
It's because we get so much time to see all of the competitors, like their friendships, their rivalries.
Yep.
They constantly are talking about what they're doing, what the others are doing, whether they think it's good or bad, or they worry, or they're hopeful or whatnot.
Yep.
And all of Gordon Ramsay's competition shows have completely cut that part out. It's now just the competition and just Gordon Ramsay babbling about factoids because he wants to look smart. And lots of times, and this annoys me because it's really obvious with MasterChef, he'll ADR something in, usually to make himself to make it sound like he was being more smart in a scene than he actually was.
Yes.
And I hate that.
It does get annoying. With not MasterChef, Hell's Kitchen, I'm just not going to watch it until it's over.
Yeah. It's always been the weakest, only bingeable, because all the competitors are so bland.
Yeah. The interesting thing is he does have Hell's Kitchen Season 2 sitting there.
Uh-huh.
I know they filmed some episodes.
Maybe they're having a problem with...
scheduling.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with the actor strikes. Which shouldn't affect him, because he's not an actor, he's a chef, right?
Well, he's got to get some actors to come and eat his cruddy food as like a guest star or something.
You think he's the guy who watched the menu and went, God, it's brilliant.
Yes.
It's bloody brilliant.
Okay, alright. Another thing about this season of Hell's Kitchen, they're not in Vegas. They're in, like, the middle of nowhere.
Yes.
Like, Colorado or something. Like,
I thought it was further north.
It's so, like, it's not a pretty location. It's a very much not impressive sounding location.
Yeah, I don't know why he would leave his central hub, which has been Vegas. And you have... it's Vegas. You have so many opportunities to do other things.
The mayor of Vegas is like, you have 27 restaurants. You're not allowed to have another one. The thing that annoyed me, he's always had two chefs, his sous chefs. The dude with blue hair and Christine. The girl with brown hair and glasses and her hair is in like a ponytail.
They weren't always the ones.
But they have been for like the last at least 7 years.
Yes, they won to get those roles.
Yes. And neither of them returned for this. Presumably because we're in the middle of vampire country,
yeah.
Twilight.
Well, this is shining shit. Whatever. Agatha all along.
Yeah! We got the 3rd episode.
Yep.
Is the first of their trials. What did you think?
Not what I thought the trials would be, but also, I mean, I guess this is what the show is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just them going down this road.
I think I'm enjoying it. I think it's clever. I like the characters a lot. I think they're fun. I like the various allusions to witchery.
Yep.
Like the house they're in started to flood, and they were underwater, and drowning witches was one of the methods of killing them.
Yep.
And then the oven opened up, and that's another method of how they would figure out if you're a witch or not.
Yep.
So I also like how this was a challenge specific to, I don't remember the character's name, but the potion crafter. This was her challenge, so it was designed after her kind of style. So I'm excited to see what everyone else's styles will look like as we move forward.
Yeah, we should have a different... Every episode should be a variation of this trial.
I'm wondering, because we were mentioning this last time, about something that looks like an 80s camp movie kind of thing.
Yep.
I'm wondering if that's going to be teen, because he's a teenager, and camp is a teenager thing to do. Like
okay.
Summer camp and whatever.
I don't think it's as common as it used to be.
No, but this is Disney. They haven't advanced past the 90s.
It's true. They still think witches are evil. It was surprising that one of them died.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is this one dead or will they come back?
Yeah, I'm curious if she'll stay dead. Her husband died, supposedly. Which I didn't remember who she was in WandaVision. I saw a video that was like, this was what she was referencing. Because when she starts doing her hallucinations, she said, Wanda, just let him breathe. Do you remember her character from WandaVision? It was in the very first episode.
Oh, no, then.
Yeah, it was her husband was like Vision's boss.
Oh, and they came over for dinner?
And yeah, and then suddenly he just started choking because he was asking too many questions, and then he just started choking, and then he couldn't breathe, and she just kept saying, stop it, but in like a playful way, and then eventually she was saying it at Wanda. Not him, but at Wanda, and that's when we started to realize that things were awry.
Yes.
So, yeah. He's dead. Don't know if that killed him or not. Now she's dead too. They can be together.
Okay. Well, I'll just keep watching it. I'm not too excited.
I'm definitely more enjoying it than you are, I think.
Yeah. I wanted it to be a little more Marvel heavy.
I'm glad it's not Marvel heavy.
And there you go. I came here for the MCU stuff, only to find out it's not really here.
I came here for the witchy stuff, and that's what I'm getting.
Yes.
I'm glad there's not, oh, here's my secret technology doohickey that can solve all my problems.
Mm-hmm.
And here, let me reference this random dumb character from an unrelated comic book that no one cares about.
Wow. Don't attack the MCU like this.
Does just the truth hurt? You can't handle the truth.
You can't reference when you're trying to hurt the MCU.
I know. They're already filled with their own references.
Yes, they can reference themselves. Only murderers in the building.
Yeah.
We're behind a few episodes. We watched episode 3, I think.
No, we got caught up. The other two didn't come out yet. If we hadn't have been caught up, we would have kept watching.
So, okay.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
It's better than last season, but it's not great.
No. And the thing is, last season didn't get good until the last 3 episodes.
Yeah, well, my main problem with last season was that the 3 podcasters were arguing, and so they barely spent any time together.
Yep.
So that has been fixed for this season, but it feels so like a shell of what it once was. I think you put it best. You said it felt like it was a Flanderization of itself.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not sincere. It's a goofy, wacky version of what the first season really was.
Mm-hmm.
They were legitimately doing a podcast trying to solve this murder in the building.
Mm-hmm.
They were amateurs. They had nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
Yet they somehow luckily found out these true crimes that happened.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot more compelling twists and turns.
Yeah.
Like finding out that Mabel knew the guy who died.
Mm-hmm. That was her boyfriend, wasn't it?
I think? I don't remember exactly. There was a lot more, it was a lot more compelling. Like, you had a rogues gallery of people who were suspects, and now, despite the fact that they have 3 different murder boards this season, they're kind of just, like, randomly moving forward. They're not really deducing anything, they're not ruling out people, and we'll get, like, a crumb of a hint at the very end of an episode, and then at the beginning of the next episode, they, like, sweep that under the rug and ignore it. It's just not nearly as good as it used to be.
No. Paul Rudd's still funny.
Paul Rudd is still funny.
Yes.
You can always count on Paul.
So, Joker 2 comes out this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
New Ghost Adventures show comes out, which I will be watching, and then we'll create a new little segment here on Coffee Break where I can retell you what happened in that episode and why it's so ridiculous. It's only to make fun of the show. It's gonna... This one, I'm so excited because Zach's not going to the locations with them again. So he gets to yell at them over Zoom.
Yay.
and the 3 guys are really bad at investigating.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that Aaron's been doing this as long as Zach.
They've been doing this for years. How are they this bad?
Yeah, Billy's been doing this for years.
They just like bumble into rooms and scream, and it's like, what are you doing?
Something touched my ear. Is it red? Anyways.
like all the buffoonishness of Zach, but with none of the subtlety or sincerity.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any news for the week?
No. A daily Ruby reviews are happening for October.
Because that's what we needed.
Every single day, except for the 31st, there's gonna be a new video reviewing an episode of Ruby. I'm going through volumes 4 and 5, and I'm doing the character shorts that surrounded them as well.
Nice.
Yippee!
So last week I said I was going to do my first live stream, and that did not happen.
There were technical difficulties.
The technical difficulties are interesting, and I wanted to talk about this really quick, just in case any of you were wondering. Okay, this has to do with Google. This is not me. This was Google, okay? And Google's like, you need to sign in with your account to your PlayStation. And I'm like, I did that. And they're like, you still can't stream. So I sign out, and I sign back in, and there's 2 options. There is my account, and then there's the Barry Bottom account. And I'm like, but my account is attached to the Barry Bottom account.
Doesn't matter. Google,
knowing that you have a YouTube channel, has now created a brand identity, which has its own email access. Couldn't even figure out how to access that email because I was like, I never set that one up. They just did it on their own. And as me playing as me, I can't do it. When I switched it over to Barry Bottom, it was like, you're good to go.
I think it's how someone can have multiple accounts attached to one account. Like if one person had multiple
channels,
YouTube channels. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I got to learn that weird factoid. And
hooray.
I know now when I turn it back on, we're ready to go. So we're playing Resident Evil 2, Claire's story.
Nice.
This Saturday.
I am also planning on streaming on Friday. I didn't do it last week.
You do not interrupt me while I'm plugging.
I was busy.
Yeah, you need to play your game.
I want to. I've had too much stuff to do.
Nice. I know Silent Hill's coming out. I know some people have been playing Silent Hill.
Mm-hmm.
That will be not this weekend, but next weekend. That'll be the next real power on streaming that.
Very exciting.
Yes, I'm super excited to go back to Silent Hill. And yeah, now that I have Resident Evil and we get to test everything out and make sure it all works.
Yeah.
Again, if you guys want to join me, you can. If you don't, that's fine. Just know that I'm running a test and I'll probably be playing the game.
Nice.
Also, my next review for Tuesday is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original. It's 50 years old.
Oof.
We watched it already. We'll talk about it next week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. If you guys haven't watched the Joker one, again, still go check that out. It's probably my best one.
I agree. I agree.
And they are getting better.
You're getting better and better. You level up. You're getting your experience points and you're leveling up.
Oh, I'm also learning how to edit them faster.
Mm-hmm.
That one is about 10 minutes long, and I was able to get it done quicker than Transformers.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you get stronger. And you know the shortcuts.
Yep.
And you just do.
So, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great week. Happy Halloween.
Yeah. Watch some scary movies.
Yo.
Bye.
Bye.